a story that concerns Truth Social. So DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corp, that is the company, the special purpose acquisition company that is supposed to be merging with Truth Social. Now, it has been a long time. They actually had to extend the period of time by a year because the SEC is investigating them and won't let them carry out the merger yet. But they've actually reached an agreement with the SEC. So basically, the reason for this, so here you can see in this article, Truth Social SPAC agrees to pay $18 million to settle SEC investigation into the merger. Now, the reason the SEC has been investigating them is because before they, DWAC even listed publicly, okay, before they went public, they supposedly had already confirmed the target for their merger as Trump's media company, which you're not supposed to do for a SPAC, right? You're supposed to list yourself on the stock exchange and then you start looking for a target for your merger. But they apparently had knowledge of it before. So if they merge with Truth Social, they will have to pay $18 million fine after the merger because of that fact. However, a merger with Truth Social will probably make the DWAC stock go to the moon again. It'll certainly go past $40, maybe $50, maybe more. So they could just sell a few shares and they'll have the $18 million to pay the fine. So probably isn't really that big of a deal. That's kind of the situation. And it's taken already around 400 days or so even to get this far with the merger, which is very unusual. The average, approval from the SEC for a merger, it's more close to like 130, 150 days, something like that. So it does look like the SEC has kind of been slow walking DWAC's merger. Obviously the SEC controlled by the Biden administration, so it makes sense why they might want to do that. But anyway, Truth Social, or DWAC, they released this statement that said this will help to remove the cloud of uncertainty lingering over DWAC and would allow DWAC to move forward in achieving the objective of delivering a strategic merger. So it does, look like they still very much intend to merge with Trump's company, TMTG, Trump Media Technology Group. So I'm happy. I'm a stockholder in DWAC. I've got about 200 shares, and I'd really like to see them go back up. So I'm kind of happy with that. What do you think about it?
It should be pretty much done already. This is over a year, almost a year and a half.
Yeah, 400 days, around 400 days.
Yeah, can you drag your feet any longer? At this point, you're walking on your hands. So it's pretty bad on that perspective. 18 million, get it done. Why are you even thinking twice about it? Yeah. You're gonna capitalize there. I think the problem right now with Truth Social is that it was used to have a freedom of speech platform because everything seemed to be getting censored. There were issues with all kinds of propaganda and things like that, fact checking X, Y, and Z without legitimizing the fact checking and, the definition of what's true, what's not true. And so it allowed it to get a lot of hype really quick because no one was able to express their voices, whether left, right, off center, doesn't matter. People were thinking that they couldn't express themselves. So Truth Social comes out and says they're going to go public. It allows people to invest money into something that they believe in. And then, they have all these issues on the back end. So now that it's done, it's $18 million. Just agree to it, sign the paperwork, get going.
I think Elon taking over Twitter has diverted a lot of the heat away from Truth Social. Because when Truth Social first launched, it was like, it was being attacked in the media, it was being attacked from left, right, and center. Then the focus was sort of shifted to Twitter, right? Because it's like, oh my goodness, like Truth Social took all that heat and Elon quietly managed to get Twitter at that time. And then it sort of reversed it. Now all the heat's on Twitter, it's not on Truth Social. During that period of time, Truth Social has been going through this process. And once they merge, basically Truth Social has been sort of dormant during this time, right? If you go on there, it's sort of like there's Trump supporters on there, there's sort of hardcore patriots on there, but it's not really the average person that's on there. But I think once they complete the merger, they're going to have access to a lot of capital. So I think once they merge, you're probably going to see them, crank up the gear.
They had ambitions to become a whole large media company through this. And I think Elon has the same things with X Corp. When you look at like Meta right now, they're pretty much there through all their different things. So it's like they're just playing catch up at this point, and that's the reason why I think that company is really undervalued, is because you have companies like Apple that are holding to a $3 trillion valuation, and Meta is still under $1 trillion. I think with Truth Social, their stock will increase. I think you're going to see a lot of sell-offs with people who
Cashing out. Yeah,
get
people
their
who are
money back.
frustrated, they've held it for so long, and they've, oh, finally I can get my money back. But I think the people who really know what they're doing, I think they'll hold it for longer.